Kamaru Usman is finally back, and he is going to be taking on Joaquin Buckley in a matter of literally about 5 weeks. Okay, this fight literally came out of nowhere, and Usman has just randomly spawned in. He entered Pearl back into the UFC in a fight that I actually really wanted to see, but I didn't think this was actually going to happen. So we have Buckley versus Usman, and I think Joaquin Buckley is going to retire Kamaru Usman and chin him badly, man. So, like I said, Usman has literally just came out of nowhere, okay? The dude has not fought since Khamzat Chimaev in 2023, October 2023. This dude was one of the greatest welterweights of all time. But, past tense. That's all past tense. Usman is not the fighter that once was, okay? And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he had shades of that against Khamzat Chimaev on short notice. I do agree, but Usman would do a lot better at middleweight than he would do at welterweight. My voice is still gone from that Eubank fight, man. It was insane, but I think Usman coming back down to welterweight is a fucking terrible idea. I honestly think it's an absolutely terrible idea. And I think when you're facing someone like Joaquin Buckley, who has literally been on an absolute tear, okay? This dude is on, I think it's a 6-fight win streak. He's coming off a finish over Colby Covington. I know Usman finished Colby Covington, etc., but still, it was a short notice-ish Colby. I believe he had like 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. But the momentum of both these fighters is in a completely different space, okay? We don't know what kind of Usman is going to be coming out, and we don't know how good Usman is going to look, okay? We can have an idea, but I also think Joaquin Buckley is actually just a very good style. And I think he's got the style to be able to knock Usman out. Because as much as I rate Usman's boxing, and I think it is criminally underrated, I think Joaquin Buckley's got insane hands. And he's got such good takedown defense too. This dude knocked out Wonderboy, man. Like, that's insane. He knocked out Colby Covington as well. And Colby had zero success with the takedowns. It was one of the most satisfying beatdowns in modern time. And I picked Buckley to KO Colby as well, which was a fucking shout, baby. And I'm picking Buckley to do the same. This dude is on insane form. But make no mistake about it, knocking out Kamaru Usman, beating Kamaru Usman, it doesn't matter how Joaquin Buckley does in this fight if he gets a victory. This does not warrant a title shot, okay? You're beating Usman, who hasn't won a fight in welterweight since, I believe, the Colby Covington 2 fight, which was the end of 2021. Or 2022, one or the other. I believe it was 2020. Yeah, 2021. Are you really kind of like pushing that to say, oh, I beat this guy, but he hasn't got to win the division in like 3.5 years, 4.5 years, whatever the fuck it is, 3.5 years? I don't think it's enough for Buckley, but it is a fucking insane name to have on your resume at welterweight. Usman is one of the best welterweights of all time. And I think the way Buckley strikes is moving forward kind of pressure. And Usman doesn't really move his head that much. Like back in the day when Usman was on a tear, he fought like Masvidal, who was a good boxer, okay? And Masvidal landed a few good shots on Usman in the first fight, but completely gassed out because he took on like a week's notice. Ended up chinning Masvidal in the second fight. Like, there was a stage, I'll never, as long as I live, forget the reign that Usman had. It was one of the best things ever. The Gilbert Burns fight, I still say the UFC, whatever it was, when he fought Masvidal the second time, to this day is my favorite pay-per-view ever. That was just the Weidman leg break, Rose Namajunas, and that was like the first time crowds were like fully back, okay? And then Usman just absolutely caved his head in. And it was just the most insane moment ever. Okay, it was just an incredible event. And I will always remember that UFC as one of the best UFCs ever. But Usman's time, man, he's come and gone. I think if you look at Leon Edwards, just got submitted by Sean Brady, another up-and-coming contender. Buckley chinned Colby Covington, who those two were like 1 and 2 for how many years. And that was always the fights. One of the greatest fights of all time was their first one. And then they had like a very close rematch. I think Usman's on a 3-fight loss streak to Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev. He's lost to Leon twice, got brutally KO'd one, got shut down the other one. And then he fought Khamzat like a year and a half later, I think it was. I don't know how long ago. It was a while. And you're coming back in against Joaquin Buckley on like relatively short notice when Buckley has all this momentum. I just think it's a fucking recipe for disaster for Usman, okay? I do not see Kamaru Usman having the takedowns that he had back in the day. I'm just thinking Usman's going to be slower, and I can't not but think that because he's been out the cage for so long. I'm not. If anyone's expecting Usman to come in here and look absolutely sharp and he's going to look young, what are you basing that off? The dude's on three fight loss streak. I just don't see it. Okay, and it is really fucking strange for me, who got into the sport around the time when Usman was the champion, to pick against him, because there was a stage where I said this with, like, when Izzy was kind of losing, like, I didn't know the sport without, and I know you all casual, yeah, I don't give a fuck, but that's when I kind of got into the sport of just like Usman, Volk and all them, and when they all started losing, I was like, well, this is fucking crazy, because I literally didn't know the sport without any of them. But now I do. All too well. They're all, apart from Volk, who's fucking man, the rest of them are kind of like not falling off, but the time has come. The time is gone. And I think Joaquin Buckley at welterweight is just an absolute menace. The dude has been on picking up knockouts, Wonder Boy, Luke Gay, Colby Covington, all in a year. All in just over a year. Like, it's fucking insane, okay? And stylistically, I think Buckley's going to do well here, because I think Usman's going to be shooting early after he realizes he can't hang with Buckley on the feet. I do see Usman kind of entertaining the stand-up, but Usman's kind of just like so stiff with his movements, okay? And I think Buckley's way too sharp to be able to be getting caught with some of that shit, okay? If you have decent head movement, Kamaru Usman is not that dangerous of a striker. Or if you're just George Masvidal and get absolutely fucking chinned. I know he did, like, he's just got such weird striking way. Like, whenever he just looks so slow when he's doing it, but it works somehow, okay? I'm not going to say he's like Drickus, because Drickus, like, moves forward in really fucking strange and weird angles. But Usman's just really slow with everything, with the striking, okay? But it just worked perfectly. And one of my go-to the sport, to be honest with you, is Kamaru Usman. Like, the dude is just an absolute beast and an absolute G. I do like Usman a lot. But I have no reason to pick Usman in this fight. I have no reason. You haven't won in the weight class in 3.5 years. You're on 3-fight loss streak. It's been 1.5 years since I've seen you in that cage and you lost. And I know it was a draw. I picked at a draw for Usman. I scored at a draw for Usman. But the fact is, he didn't get his hand raised. And as good as he looked in that fight, that's 1.5 years ago. Are you basing that off when Buckley has got maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 wins since then, sorry? 5 wins against people like Colby Covington and Stephen Thompson. And you look at the way Usman went back and forth with Colby. I know it was a while ago, but still, that era is just slowly going out, okay? And I think this is going to be the final nail in the coffin to get the last of that division out. Leon's kind of gone now. Covington's definitely gone. And now that Usman, you know, even Luke Gay and Wonder Boy, they're kind of out of the division now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with a Joaquin Buckley round 2 TKO, to be honest with you. Could ground and pound finish him, or could get him up against the cage and stop him that way. I think Buckley is a fucking savage, and I actually really like Buckley, so I'm not going to be mad if he wins this fight, but I wouldn't be completely counting Kamaru Usman out. It's quite hard to completely count him out, considering he did that to Hamzat on a week's notice. I know it was a 1.5 years ago, but still insanely impressive. But I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough so far, and I'm going to be picking Joaquin Buckley by round 2 TKO. Let me know what you think about it down below. Thanks for watching.